welcome back to Life's Deceit with your girl, Jen Simpson. How are you guys doing? How's your morning? How's your afternoon? How's your night? I hope that you guys are having an amazing, amazing day, afternoon, or night, wherever you are in the world. Welcome back, guys. Thanks for continuing to support. Thank you for liking. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for subscribing. If you are new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe, leave me a comment, hit the like button, and share this video. So, guys, without further ado, let's welcome my beautiful guest, Zizu Isabello Apeleni, all the way from South Africa. So, Zizu, it's a pleasure and honor being on here with you. I am blessed to be able to connect with you. I am blessed to be able to share your story because when I saw your story, it was pulling at my heartstrings. I want to know a little bit about yourself, who you are, what you represent, and where you are now in life. That's where I want to start.
Oh, okay. So I am Zizo Apleni from South Africa, as you said. And I grew up in a very lovely family, I was brought up as a child, a very mannerful child, kind, I was taught to be kind at a very early age because we grew up in a large family. So we were just taught to share and be kind to one another. So I feel like that is one of the traits that grew up with me, because when you're growing up, there's some things that you leave behind and you're like,
Yeah.
this I'm leaving behind. But I feel like being kind is a very big part of my personality, of my character, so I really love to mention that. And then what do I represent? Oh my goodness, I definitely represent the kingdom of God.
Amen.
um I definitely represent survivors, I don't like being introduced as a victim because I feel that God has taken me away from that mentality and put me into survivor, survival mode. So I am a survivor and I represent women who have survived the worst of the worst, who say that I've been through the most, but today here I am, you know and where am I in life today? Woo! I recently I recently just turned 30, Jen, in February.
Ooh.
So so 30 for me was a place, well, I was at a place where I didn't know what to do with my life, I was like, oh, I don't know what to do. But then God was like, how about you get to know me, and that is definitely where I am in life. I am learning about God, about who God is, because I think in the past, um, God was just there to show me his purpose as to, okay, this is my purpose for your life. It was just a one-sided thing. It was never a two-sided thing. So at this year, where I am now, I am at a place where I am getting to know God for who he is.
I love that. Now, has your father reached out to you now that he's out? Has he ever tried to get in contact with you?
No, no, none whatsoever.
And are you okay with that now? You're content with it. I could tell you're content, but are you good with that not having that reconnection? We say somebody asked the other day, if you forgive somebody, do you have to reconcile? And my
Yes.
answer will always be no.
I don't want to lie, Jane. Part of the reason why I moved to Johannesburg was finding out that he actually got out, and in as much as you had said that healing is not a destination, it's a
It's a
process.
journey.
So as soon as I heard that he was out, like, I just became overwhelmed and was like, no, I cannot, I don't see myself ever bumping into this man and just acting as if everything was okay. So let me just move. So that was when things became rocky for me. And I realized that I never dealt with the fact that when he's out, what is going to happen? So, and I remember when he got out, I was at the prime of my career, if I could put it that way. I was a speaker, going every weekend, it was just busy for me, but I had to let everything go because I could not go and speak in front of people and still be scared. What if he would come through that door, what would I say? So I needed to let everything go and just move and just start again and deal with the fact that this man is now out. What is going to happen and how are you going to deal with it? So I'm 13 and I no longer live with any of my parents. I now live in a boarding school. And so there, the previous year when I was 12, I started my period. And as soon as I started my period, because that year there was nothing about gender-based violence, there was nothing about anything that is happening nowadays. So um as soon as I started my period, we were told that just to stay away from boys. If boys touch you, you will fall pregnant. And I thought pregnancy is a sickness and no one will want you. And remember, in South Africa, we had just been dealing with HIV and AIDS. People were dying. And it was a huge thing being told as a child that someone there died of AIDS. We saw these people dying of AIDS around us. And now, when we are told about this pregnancy, like, I'm gonna die if I fall
We want to
pregnant.
run far from it.
Yo, I do not want to have this pregnancy sickness. That's how it was in our minds as young children then. So when I was told that if you dare get pregnant, you will, so I didn't. Nah, I didn't want anything to do with boys or things like that. And then the host that lived with us, she began reading us stories, and she read us the story about an uncle who was touching the niece in their private parts. And I couldn't sleep that night. I was just reeling over the story. And in my mind now, as a 12-year-old, I was like, no, man, the uncle was wrong because the uncle is not the dad. The dad should be touching, not the uncle. But when I went to visit my dad, I told him that, listen, I started my periods and my host told me this. And then that's when the threatening started, when I was 12 years old, that he started threatening me that, listen, if you tell people about what has been going on, people will see you as a child who lies. You're going to be a liar. No one is ever going to love you again. And I will take you out of the school. You will never have these clothes again. You will never, everything now just started coming out. And I was just silent about the whole thing.
So, guys, without further ado, let's welcome Samantha D. Liberal, the friendship coach, the amazing, beautiful, phenomenal queen that's here to pour out words, knowledge, and love into us. Let's welcome Samantha to the stage. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Excited to be here, excited to chat and just really lay it all on the table.
I'm honored to be in your presence, and I want to thank you for accepting to come on today. I
hmm
know you probably have a lot going on, but as soon as I saw your Instagram, and I'm like, I need my sister on.
Yes.
So, for my listeners who don't know who Samantha Liberal is, who are you and what would you say you represent?
Oh, that's so good. Well, my name is Samantha D. Liberal. I'm formerly known as the Friendship Enthusiast, your friendship coach. I am super passionate about friendship, all facets of it, personally and professionally. I believe that we were literally placed on this earth to commingle a specific way according to God's plan, whether that's in work spaces, whether that's in business, whether that's in partnership, whatever that may look like. I believe that we were specifically placed on this earth to commingle a certain way. And it's our job to learn about each other enough to journey properly. So I'm super passionate about helping women build better friendships, reconcile, and even reconnect. Because a lot of the people don't know how to connect in the first place, and we disengage at some point from being younger kids to growing up as adults. We've disengaged in this thing called friendship. And so for me, I'm very passionate about that and helping women in a very practical way. Although I do have rooted morals that are based off of, biblical principles. I believe in God, and I'm definitely all kingdom. I do believe in practical practices and us actually getting up and doing the work and looking at things for full face value in order to journey properly. So if I had to pick something that to describe me, it would be friendship.
Why did you choose to be a friendship coach? Was that always your, like, first of all, your life's plan? Where did you start out? You start elementary school, you go to high school, then you may go to college, university, or trade or start a business. What made you decide, you know what? Me, Samantha, I'm going to be a friendship coach.
So good. So honestly, I've always been the social butterfly. I've always been like this person who's just full of life, love friendship. I value friendship on a different level. And I've run into a few people who can agree with my level of passion for friendship. But I think if we want to talk about the root cause, I would say it's because I grew up as an only child up until the age of 11. I had no siblings or anything. So when I went out into this world, my friends were my siblings. Like when
Yes.
I went to school and I spent 8 hours a day at school, these were people that I could say was my brothers and sisters, because once I got home, I didn't have those type of connections. So I think I valued those connections outside of the home so much more because I grew up as an only child until I was 11. My mom got married. I have siblings, all these things.
Phenomenous. Coding.